And we're coming back to you live from the park. I'm Zach.
And I'm Sean. Oh, man. Yeah.
So, Sean,
Yeah.
yesterday, I think it was episode 5 of Spicy Nuggs showed up in my YouTube feed.
Episode 5, semester 1?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And I was like, well, I have to watch it. It's
one?
been so long.
Which one was it?
Dude, it was about us talking about, motivation and how dreams help motivate people.
Oh, okay.
But the very end of that episode, well, I guess it was the very beginning of the episode, but
Sure.
the only words you hear pretty much is a reproductive system. I was like, what? It's to the Spicy Nugs has gotten to the point where I don't even remember, what could we have been talking about?
You know what's funny? I think I know exactly.
I heard that, and I was just like, what?
I think I have a solid guess of what exactly we were talking about there. Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to?
No, I want to know, Sean. I need
okay.
to know.
So that was back when my good friend Naomi, who is an artist for us, you know, she did a lot of her designs.
Hire her all the time.
Yeah,
for sure.
She was going to we were going to the same ward, and she was sitting there drawing in Sacrament, and I was like, you remember this?
I know.
And I was like, you should draw like the digestive system of a penguin.
Yeah.
And so she did. And then when she told my brother about that, because she thought it was really funny, she told my brother, Sean made me draw the reproductive system of a penguin. And my brother was like, why?
Dude, I totally remember this now. I listened to that last night and I was like, what the fuck? Because there was zero context given at all. And it was just...
Yeah, it's amazing that I remember that, honestly. But yeah, that's what a throwback.
So now I'm just wondering, what else have I forgotten about Spicy Nugs? What else doesn't make sense to me anymore?
Dude, it really is crazy. Because, we've been doing this for, 2 years now.
Stop.
We started this.
Stop.
I was, 21? Well, right? Were you 20 when we started? Is that possible?
No.
There's no way.
No, it's almost been 2 years.
It's almost been 2 years.
Yeah.
So we were, okay, so maybe I was 22. But, still, Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Spicy meatball.
That's so much time. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that I've been in college for over 2 years and I still haven't learned anything. I'm just kidding.
When we started Spicy Nugs, I'm like, this is so fun, but I did not think it was gonna last at all.
No.
I never thought we would get to the point where I actually didn't remember conversations we had. That's how long it's been and how many episodes there are. It's nuts.
It's scary. It's kind of scary because what did I say? Reproductive system?
I was listening to that whole episode and I was like, I vaguely remember having this conversation, but I don't remember what I said at all. So hearing, I was like, it's oh no, I got to go back in time to past Zach. And what was I thinking 2 years ago?
Yeah, what was going through my mind? Yeah, no, that's...
And nothing's changed, really. We still just talk about change and unimportant things.
It's ironic how often we talk about change, and yet the show is never changed.
Well, it was so funny because at first I was like, man, we were so different back then. Then I was like, no, wait. We're literally doing the same. We just rant more at the beginning of the episode now than we used to.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
We're more confident in our ability to talk about nothing.
I mean...
I don't want to brag, but
I've been practicing for 2 years.
I could say literally nothing with so many words. It's one of my talents. And they're just like, you're hired. Would you
I just
ever...
realized,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, hold your thought, Sean.
I'm sorry.
How dare you? sorry, I just saw him hit the ball over here,
Yeah.
and Will got really close to us, and then just means he's gonna walk all the way over here.
And give us a little kiss.
Oh, sorry, that was it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to socialize with people, so.
No, I understand that. Yeah, he sure is just going to town.
He's a lot of
hitting
baseballs.
them baseballs. And
Maybe you should go film some pitches, Sean.
what did you just
Throw him some pitches.
Oh, I thought you said film some pictures.
Yeah, go
I was
film
like,
some
"Da
pictures.
fetch?"
How does one film a picture?
We back in my day, we used to go see them moving pictures. Got to go spend like half a penny at the store. Go watch one of them moving pictures. Wow. You know what I mean?
No, Grandpa, you're old. Stop talking to
You know
me.
what I'm talking about? All right. Anyways, do you have something to talk about today, or should we just keep rambling?
Oh, I do. I got two things, I think. Well,
okay.
Well, I can pick from one of those.
Okay, lovely.
What was your thought?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, beautiful.
Although, wait, maybe it was about. I was gonna ask. Do you think you would ever? This is such a terrible question.
Oh no.
Do you think you would ever cite or use Spicy Nuggs in like a resume?
No. First off, I would never want my future employer to listen to Spicy Nuggs.
Yeah.
Secondly, could you imagine you go into an interview, they like pull out your resume, they're going over it with you, and they're like, so what is this Spicy Nuggs and Smash? You do a podcast? And you're like, yeah! And then the first episode they hear is Life Has No Meaning, buy our merch.
Or it could be pooping as art. Psychic secretions. There's a lot of places they can start at.
I feel like 80% of like the titles would just like throw them off instantly.
Freaking kangaroo pouches, buttholes, and the morality of seeking truth. That's a recent one.
Like, the tall man. Like, that's episode 2, I think.
Yeah. So no then?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not offended. I'm not mad.
My question. I have a question for you before we actually get into important things.
Okay.
Do you think our butt prints are still in the grass at UVU? And that came up during the episode yesterday I watched. I was just like, I forgot that was a thing. Like, that was like the thing for like all of semester 1.
We had nothing else to talk about, so we talked about the butt prints we were making. I'm gonna go with. I mean, I haven't checked or anything, but I think yes. I'm gonna go with yes. Not because I really believe.
Do you think our plaque's up yet?
Let's go set one up. Let's just go set one up ourselves. Just put like a stick in the ground and like duct tape a piece of paper to it. It says Sean and Zach's butt prints. And then everyone will be like, what the? And then like the guy with the lawnmower will just run it over and grind it to dust.
You know what the best part is? We actually talked about having a plaque before this. So.
I know. Yeah, okay, anyways. Yeah.
I just can't get my, like part of me doesn't feel like we've been doing Spicy Nuggets that long, but then I think about all the things from like semester 1 and it just blows my mind.
It's so strange. Well, and that's like the strange thing. And maybe we should save this for a later date because you want to talk about something, but like just like
yeah, how dare you?
Well, maybe I'll leave this for you to ponder and we'll talk about it another time. But like thinking about and realistically how much you have changed since day 1 of Spicy Nuggs. And not just like on like the surface level, because obviously we're still ourselves, but like it's been 2 years. So like honestly, like taking a step back and doing what you did in the last episode of semester 1 and just being like, okay, how has these 2 years been? And be like, how much have I changed? What am I doing now? How have my goals changed? So yeah, maybe we'll just leave that for another day.
It's probably gonna be festering inside of me for like a week now.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
5 easy days of pain and suffering.
Yes.
My favorite.
I haven't had enough of those days recently, so.
I've been missing you. Depression, come back to me. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I had this thought yesterday,
Mhm.
and it was really, I don't know how it even came to me. I think I was making dinner, and it was just like,
Sure.
that doesn't matter.
Just one of
But
those. What were you making?
homemade pizza.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Wow, that sounds lovely.
it was pretty good.
Did you think of inviting like a co-host of yours maybe?
I mean, it's not like I wanted you there or anything. I didn't make you a pizza. It's like no big deal.
Just set one aside for me.
It's not like it's still there.
Okay, sorry.
We can know anything. I love it.
I like when I look away because I'm laughing. I look back at you and you're silent, but you're like your head's back and you're just laughing at like the air just silently.
And no, listen. Like half the time I laugh, nothing comes out, and so like I even thought about this in Spicy. Like there's times where we're just dying of laughter, but they only hear you, and you're like.
Yeah.
People must think I'm just sitting there like Sean's an idiot.
You're such a stoic young lad, you know. Yeah.
Anyways.
Pizza or no, something else. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about like how humility and self-esteem go together.
Oh baby. Oh baby boy.
Because I almost feel like I don't know. I feel like, and maybe my whole friend group will disagree with me, but like I try to be humble when it comes to important things. Like if it's something stupid and silly, like I have no care, but like oh my, look at me, right? But like if it's actually something that kind of matters, I or like is just not funny to joke about. Like I don't know. I try to be somewhat humble about it.
You
like,
try to be of sober mind.
I don't want to brag or anything. Talking about humility.
Yeah.
But no, but I feel like sometimes humility can almost get in the way of positive self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like say like you actually do something that is like praiseworthy,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, but you want to be humble. You're like, oh, it's no big deal, it's fine, and you convince yourself that it wasn't like anything worthwhile. I feel like that can almost hurt your self-esteem and be like, yeah, I'd like make, and if like your all of a sudden your accomplishments are no longer an accomplishment. Thoughts?
You're preaching to the choir. As we've discussed in the past, elementary school Sean was a douche.
What a dick.
Who literally thought he was better than everyone else. Because of that, and as I got older meaning like 12 and into my teens, I realized douches aren't that fun to be around, right?
You don't say.
And I was like, maybe I should try to back off a bit and not think so highly of myself. And in doing so, I swung that pendulum all the way to the other side.
Other side of the spectrum.
And I spent all those years beating myself up and never accepting praise and all the stuff like that, just like you're talking about. So, yes, I understand what you're saying. But I do wonder, I don't think humility, like, let's discuss the definition of humility. Because, like, is humility really passing up on those things that you think or that are praiseworthy? Is humility really calling yourself an idiot? Is that being humble, or is that just self-hate? Like, what is the definition of humility in your mind?
So, I like how you brought up this. I was going to talk about this as well. But I was going to ask you, is it humility or does it change to something else?
Explain what you mean.
So, like, can humility get in the way of your own self-confidence, or do you think it's humility, but like you're really just like in your own head? If that makes sense.
You're like tricking yourself in a way.
Yeah, because like for me, like I don't think humility is bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's gonna argue that. I don't know, maybe there's elementary school Sean out there. He's gonna come beat us up in the park later after this episode.
No, not at all. Because elementary school Sean would have argued that humility is very important and that he was very humble.
Oh.
See? So he wouldn't have argued.
So he'll
with
just
you
leave an
about that.
angry comment down below.
Yeah, he can do that.
So I don't think humility is bad. I think it's when you're trying to be humble oh man, how do I want to phrase this? It's like such a weird idea. It's like it's when you convince yourself. So like maybe like, you don't want to think it's a big deal or anything because you want to be humble,
Yeah.
right? And it's when you actually convince yourself that what happened wasn't a big deal,
Okay.
and that's when it affects self-esteem.
It's when it changes from the desire to just not brag and not like get up into people's faces changes to this is not actually that big of a deal.
Yes.
I am not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that. I feel like that's almost happened to me in my life, where I'm just like, something will happen, or I'll just be like, it's even happened in something as small as like video games for me. Like, say like I actually did something that was like really impressive in a video game, but it's like, oh whatever, it's not a big deal. Like I
wish I knew what I was
like,
doing. Wish that was on purpose.
but I don't know, and then it's just like later I think about it, I'm like yeah, whatever, like it was nothing important, right? But I feel like that's a silly example because like
Yeah.
the importance of video games, whatever. But I feel like that same idea can happen with actually important things in life.
Definitely. So I wonder about that balance, and then, well, I guess the balance that you're suggesting here is humility. Humility is the middle ground that you want to achieve, and what you're saying is the line you cross on the one side is when you stop thinking of it as an achievement, versus on the other side, it's when you think it's an achievement and you also think you're amazing because of it, or something along those lines, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder if it's, how can I say this? It's exaggeration on both sides. It's exaggerating its importance or exaggerating its non-importance. And in the middle between those things, where you're not exaggerating either of those, you're saying, okay, I worked really hard and I achieved this thing, or I did really good there, and then like it's not a I did amazing. It's all me, and it's also not just okay, that was something, but wasn't that big of a deal, guys. Like,
Like, yeah, I don't feel like it's wrong to be like proud of something you've accomplished, but at the same time, you should be humble about it.
Right.
And it's when you either are too proud or you're not proud at all. And I feel like, I don't know, it's like such a hard thing to like.
I feel like, I wonder if both sides of that exaggeration, it's caused by focusing too much on yourself, which maybe sounds a little weird on the pride side. Obviously that makes complete sense because that's what pride is, but on the other side, it's still a focus on yourself. You're
just in a negative light.
Exactly. You're saying I didn't do anything that impressive. And so I wonder if like humility is more of a focus on the work and the achievement itself and less upon the person.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know, but like that's just something that came to mind. I feel like it's difficult to say like I'm proud of myself if you're focusing on the achievement, but like maybe I'm proud that I achieved that.
I feel like maybe this factor can like help tie it together for some people that are struggling, as I am still struggling with it. But like I feel like it's I guess an example is like people have different strengths, right? And it's like I feel like there's, say like you actually do something that is like really difficult for you, but maybe it isn't difficult for other people. It's like you can convince yourself that it wasn't actually important, or like you should have been doing this all along, right?
Right.
and because everyone else is doing, and even though it's hard for you, now it's not a big deal. Because and so I feel like I've had that in my life a few times.
Yeah.
For me personally, which is like, this is things I should be doing, and it's like going back to college for me was kind of one of those things. It was like, yeah, I'm back at college, but like this is where I should have been all along.
Right.
And so I shouldn't be proud that I'm back in college, or anything like that. So like, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to like talk about humility in that case, but.
I don't know. Based on what you're saying, I go back to my earlier point, actually. Because in that case, I think you're still focused on yourself in comparisons to others. Whereas what you should be focused on is the work that you know you did.
I like that. Wow.
Well,
that's it, folks.
Oops. It wasn't a big deal or anything.
Are you just being humble, Sean?
No.
Are you focusing on yourself right now?
I don't know
or are you
anymore.
focusing about others like me?
I can't stop staring at my leg. Okay. Whatever. We're basically out of time, but do you have any closing thoughts?
I think just one last idea is like you touched on it a little bit about focusing on ourselves. I feel like being humble is almost something like being humble like focuses on other people as well in an interesting idea, and I feel like maybe focusing on others or just yourself isn't enough, or like you should focus on just one or the other.
Yeah, it should be like a combination and a balance of the two. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've talked about like a balance of things a lot in Spicy Nuggs, and like the more discussions we have about it, like I feel like the more there's truth to it, where like maybe the middle ground is where we want to be in a lot of cases, but
I like it. Well, one place you shouldn't be on the middle ground of is clicking that merch store link.
And subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, hit the notification bell.
Go to Zach's new personal website where he does nothing but share all of his favorite attributes about himself. Link in the description.
It's a long list. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm still Zach.
And I'm still Sean.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Zach is right, Zach is always right, Sean is wrong, always very wrong.
Sean is right, Sean is always right, Zach is wrong, Zach is very wrong. Root doot 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 doot.
Dark chocolate's your favorite. Whoa, whoa.
Oh no, the egg broke.
Wow.
Well, it wasn't meant to be.
It's good to know you're a bad person and that I'm a good person, so.
I mean... Okay, fine.
I mean, you gotta admit, I do have a point. But, like, really, though, when you think about it, though, like, when you take a step back, though...
I hate you!
Man, I'll be honest. You want to know the real reason we're sitting over here?
Yeah.
When I got here and I saw those two skater boys, I got really scared that they'd beat me up if I sat too close to them. So I went across the entire park.
That's understandable, Sean.
Yeah.
Skater boys are scary.
They look tough. They also look like they're 15, but they look tough.
I mean, it'd still beat us up, so...
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Age is just a number. What matters is who they are, and they are skater boys. He's just a skater. Is that a song? Is that a song? He's just a skater boy. Skater boy. Does that sound familiar?
I don't know if those are the lyrics or not, but it sure sounds familiar.
No,
so.
I'm pretty sure Skater boy is
That's it?
Yeah, that's the lyric. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.